Good morning, everyone. It's Penelope. And today I'm going to talk about prepping. I'm going to talk about products, packaging, and how I try to maximize my storage space by getting rid of cardboard and containers that you don't need to keep in your preps. Example, I hate cardboard. I do this with my medications, my preps, my cereals, so on and so forth. So when you go into one of my totes, you're going to find a lot more food in them than if they had the cardboard container. Most oftentimes I will slide what it is or write on what it is, and that's how I know. But this is what I do with like macaroni and cheese. Now you can do this with your macaroni and cheese that has the powdered or the kind that has the cheese sauce in it. My husband prefers the cheese sauce over the powdered. I'm not saying I don't have powdered, but just so that we can rotate through our stock, just because he likes macaroni and cheese, this is what I do. I have a freezer bag. I put my pasta in there. I put my cheese sauce packet in there. And I also put the directions in there. So I have my pasta, my cheese sauce, and my directions. And then I put this in one of my totes. That's what I do. So this is what I do with my macaroni and cheese. I do the same thing with my pastas. Now, the private selection pasta at Kroger has a really good packaging. So I will take this and just put this into my freezer bag and roll it up. Now, if my pasta comes in cardboard, it's out of there. I hate cardboard. I just hate it. I mean, I know cardboard has its place, but it doesn't have its place in my preps. Something else I do, the oatmeal. They come in these cardboard containers. Now, I put them also in freezer bags. Now, I do have a vacuum sealer, but I don't think that everything needs to be vacuum sealed. I just think that it's a waste of money because the vacuum seal bags are so expensive. But if you have a vacuum sealer and you find the ones that are on sale, snatch them up because they are great for certain things. So those are some of the things I do try to stay away from. Example, these crackers are in a pretty good thick bag, but sometimes you'll come across crackers and you'll pull them out and they're in a really flimsy bag. This might be something that I would wrap my cardboard around, just enough so that it wouldn't damage, and put that in my vacuum sealer. But these will just go into my preps in a freezer bag together and into one of my totes. So you know what we're going to do with that? We're getting rid of cardboard. Okay, now some things that you want to know. What are better packagings than others? Well, jarred pasta sauce will last a very long time. But if you're putting them towards your longer storage, your longer term storage, what I would recommend is making sure that they could not get into light. If you got them into a cupboard, make sure that they don't get into light because they're going to lose their nutrients and they're going to lose their color. Now, people have canned food for eons, right? And they keep them in their cellars or in cabinets. Same thing with your jarred sauces, whether it's a tomato base or a cheese base. Now, your cheese bases won't last as long, so you want to rotate through those pretty easily. But if you want to have super long-term things like this, I do recommend the canned. And I'm telling you, okay, I don't like canned pasta sauce, but I'm going to tell you something. In an SHTF situation, you open that can, you put it on some pasta noodles, I'll be swallowing it just like it was anything else. Something else that I have found out personally was I had a bunch of these little applesauce cups. And I had had them around for quite a while. And I don't really look at the best by dates because it's just something I don't do. Well, I opened one up one day and I took a bite and it was like eating applesauce wine. So I'm going to tell you, when it comes to applesauce, get it in a can. Fruit, get it in a can. These little plastic containers are great if you rotate through them very quickly. I do take these to work when I haven't bought fresh fruit in a while to take to work. So I do buy these, but I rotate through them pretty quickly. But don't eat applesauce wine. It's not very good. However, in an SHTF situation, you might be able to barter that. I don't know. Okay, something else. Obviously, canned foods are going to be, something that you want to keep in your stockpile. This is the sirloin burger chunky soup. This is my husband's favorite, so I have lots of it. And we have the beef Boyardee, Chef Boyardee pasta meals. I keep those on hand as well. But when I'm looking at putting things in my storage totes and putting them in places that I can start fitting more preps into, I look for things like this. This one just happens to be the Swanson brand. It is a soup starter. And you add your chicken, and this one says add diced tomatoes and your chicken broth. Now, in an SHTF situation, you may have some canned chicken broth, but that's probably going to go very quickly because you're going to start out eating more and then eventually you will train yourself to eat less, I guess. But what I like are bouillon cubes. That way I can make my own broth. And I know I have these in my spice storage. Now, let me move my stuff and I'm going to show you my spice storage really, really quickly. This is just one of them. I have many. But see this? See this? This whole tote has nothing but spices. Spices, herbs, bouillon. It has the whole gamut. And it's just filled to the top with everything. Garlic powder, all of these McCormick, and just all kinds of seasonings. And I'll just let you look down in there. See, look there. Seasoned salt. Salt, sugar are going to be some major staples, and they will last forever. So you don't have to worry about sugar and salt going bad. But your spices, you know, if you get another deal, then you rotate some of them out. And we use a lot of spices. My husband loves spicy and herby. He likes flavors other than the food he's eating. So let me move some of this out a little bit. So back to these things. Bear Creek has a great line, and they actually have a better packaging. I believe they have a foil-lined packaging. But these are great for space. You know, your cans, they're going to take up your cabinet. These can start stacking up with your other preps in a tote. Something else, these instant potatoes, okay? These instant potatoes are in a great packaging that will last a very, very long time. Now, I also buy my mashed potatoes, my instant mashed potatoes, my dehydrated potatoes in the cardboard boxes. And I put those in those bags. I put them in my totes. And that way, they're not in cardboard and they're not taking up a lot of space. And I can put a lot of instant potatoes, dehydrated potatoes, away in my storage. Something else, dehydrated milk, powdered milk. These little pouches are awesome. Each pouch makes 1 quart of milk, and 1 quart of milk is something that is a perfect size. Now, I also buy my milk in bulk in the cardboard. I put them into my bags and into my totes. So I just get rid of all my cardboard. I just can't stand it. It drives me crazy. Like I said, you know, spaghetti, pasta, any kind of pasta, put those into your bags. Let me see. Where is my other? Oh, here it is. These little pouches of rice and sauce or pasta and sauce. Normally you find the Knorr brand, and a lot of people just go for the Knorr brand because they're $1 a piece, and that's fine. I mean, if you want to spend $1. But now, if this is 70 cents, I can get more for my bang by getting the PSST. If I said it, my dog would start barking because it sounds like I'm sicking her. And it also has a very, very good foil-lined Mylar type packaging. And I can put these into my preps as well. Okay, drink mixes. They're in great little containers or little foil-lined things. I keep those around too. I always find those. Now, Pop-Tarts. You don't think, okay, well, you know, in an SHTF situation, you're going to want comfort food. And if you have children, or if there are children in your family or in your group, you know, you're going to want to have something every now and again for them to have that's really good. Now, Pop-Tarts come in a Mylar type bag, but it's super, super thin. So I always recommend putting these into a freezer bag before you put them into your totes. Tuna. Tuna pouches are fantastic. They are small, they're light, they go great in a bug out bag or a bug in bag, as well as in your storage totes. Now, of course, canned tuna, you know, that's something you want in your canned meats. Absolutely. very important to have tuna because fish have those specific things that we need in our diet at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. And in an SHTF situation, if you don't have your vitamins stored up, which get your vitamins stored up, important. Okay, something else, croutons. You're like, why would you save croutons? Number one, they're in great packaging. This one happens to be open because I was making salad the other day, but they have a great foil-lined kind of packaging. And in an SHTF situation, wouldn't you like to have some dressing or stuffing, as some people call it? All you got to do is add your water and your broth and maybe some dehydrated onions, and you're going to have some instant stuffing. Because croutons are one of those things at the store, when they go on sale, there might be a coupon, and you might get these for almost free. Grab the croutons. Instant stuffing. Now, some people don't think about snacks. I do. I think about snacks a lot, even when it's not an SHTF situation. But I'm going to tell you that Pringles, even though they are in a cardboard container lined with the foil, I keep them as is in my preps. Now, I do rotate them out very often, not just because I want to eat my Pringles, but because I get them on sale so often that I can stock up and rotate through. But Pringles are a dehydrated chip, which means it doesn't have the oil and it's not going to go rancid like other potato chips. So if you're thinking, well, snack foods, Pringles is a good chip to have in your storage. Just saying. Something else too are Chex Mix bags, or even the no-name brands or the generic brands, because they too are in a really good bag. For the little ones, now I got these free at Kroger. They're called what are they called? They're called Sprouts, and these are a cheesy spinach, and they're for toddlers, and fantastic, and they're in a great bag, and they also have the zip seal too. So if you kept some of these around, you would have stuff for the smaller children in your group or in your family. Now, I found these. These are the Snyder Holy Cheese Crackers, and I'm telling you something. I found these on accident because they were on sale and I had coupons, and I got them very, very cheap. I think like $1.25 a bag with my coupons, and they're normally like $3 a bag, so I snatched up on them. And these have a really good packaging as well. Something else in the snack line you want to look at are these Harvest Snaps. They are in the produce section of your grocery store. Sometimes they go on sale for like 99 cents a bag on like a buy 5, save 5, and then there'll be a coupon, and you might get them for $0.25 or 30 cents a piece. These are fantastic to put in your preps as well. Now, I had some of these that I had for like 10 months. I was rotating out some of my stock. I popped them open, and they were just as good as if I had bought them yesterday. So that was a good snack item. Other things you don't think about are granola bars. And granola bars are normally in a really good packaging, a foil packaging. That's really good. These Nature Valley soft-filled breakfast bars, really good packaging, and they'll last a very long time. And then I happened to come across Oreos that were in some packaging like this. Well, heck yeah, I threw those in my preps. Something else that we're going to look at are season packs. Season packs are always in the lined filled. These happen to be Ortega taco seasoning mixes, and I got these for free on some sort of deal. So I always have lots of season packs, and they stay really well. You could do chili, gravy, whatever you find that your family would like to have in an SHTF situation. They are in great packaging for long-term storage. Now, I showed you the oatmeal in the cardboard. Now, this just happens to be something that I have put all of the single packs in, because your single packed oatmeals are and still pretty good. They're pretty good packaging, but not the best. So these I would probably put in a vacuum sealed bag just to put in my storage. But I go through them, and so I put them in one of these. Now, I have some in my long-term storage that are in vacuum seals bags. Some of them are just in my freezer bags. And I think the dried oatmeal will last a very long time. Oatmeal is a big time plus in my storage packs. Now, something else that I have in long-term storage that I did not dig out, because some of this was just really easy to get to, is Krusteaz pancake mix. It is in a foil-lined bag that you can put a Ziploc, or it has its zippy in it. So Krusteaz pancake mix, the big family size in those bags. I have several of those in my long-term prep, and I love those. For example, if you do your pancake mixes or all-purpose mixes, I take them out of the cardboard and put them into my freezer bags, and then label them and put them into my my totes. So totes are really important, guys, especially if you're like me and you have mouse situations. And I'm looking at my cat right over there, who really doesn't mouse very good. Do ya? No, he doesn't mouse real well. So that's about it. So when you're looking at your products, when you go to start prepping and you're finding these wonderful products, try to find packaging that you think is going to last a long time. And buy totes. And if you need more space, look at under your bed. Look at an old dresser. Look in areas that you don't have, like things that you really need. Start decluttering the things you don't need and make some storage for your food. You could even make like a tote side table. You could have buckets, because buckets are great too. You know, put your stuff in it, put a little top on it, put a little I don't know, fancy cover on that, put something on top of it, and you've got storage underneath there. Now, I don't keep all of my storage in one spot. It is all over my house, and I make sure that each spot has the same kind of things. That's just what I do. So you all have a great day, and I know this was a long video, but I hope you stuck through it. And if you did, answer this question. Are you a prepper? Bye, y'all.